Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BETSPERTS. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson, and joining me, as always, for a little StreamYard Hump Day action. We didn't feel like blowing it fully out here today, Andy, so a little bit of old school action.
Yeah, no, let's just get through the day, man. It's Wednesday. We've got some basketball. It's just a weird week. As exciting as it is that we have the championship weekend this week, there is basically no tennis. There is basically no golf. I know I made a couple picks, but it's not a good golf tournament to bet. There is no midweek college football. There's no baseball, obviously. We're basically just betting basketball. We're gonna have Matt's gonna pop on for a couple minutes tomorrow and give us some hockey picks, just because I said, like, hey, let's do something with hockey. I'm gonna make you come on for like 5 minutes and give me hockey picks. But obviously tomorrow we'll have Thursday night football too. So it should be, for whatever today lacks, tomorrow we'll definitely bring it. Then obviously Friday we'll have the Bear. We'll talk all the college football stuff. I think we're going to do staff picks on those. Have a little contest amongst the Dans and the Matts and the Andys of the world, and Brian already is the only one who made his picks, I think. So see who is the best. Dan, I know you did, Dan. See who is the best of the best as far as that goes. I'm not going to do very. I'll just flip some coins. It's college football. What are we going to do? But yeah, tomorrow should be good. We'll have a lot of football, basketball. Today's mostly basketball for the most part. Honestly, I'll talk a
lot of the round
little
ball today.
Yeah, it's round ball. That's not the one. I want to do round ball because Andy's gonna dunk it. So start with that. Yeah, not a lot of recap yesterday. I think my basketball went 3-3. I don't watch those games. I just set up score alerts. So better.
It was a 500 day for the team yesterday.
It was a better day than 2-2 for losing me. Tulsa. Yeah, I just lost Tulsa. So I feel like Detroit should have done better. I'm going to dig into that. I do have some college basketball today. Again, I don't have these up yet. Yeah, yesterday's performance was mundane. 5-5. Just lost the juice. And you know what? When you're shopping around, look for places that have reduced juice. I know limits are sometimes lower, but if you're not bumping your head against limits when you're betting some of this stuff, low vig, Bet 105. So all these sites seem to have these low vig offshore options, or shop around, sell points. You can find ways to really never lay more than 105 when you're betting college basketball. I try not to, at least. Today, a couple of them off the bat. I don't know what time these games are. I'm assuming we don't have day games today. I think that was just kind of a feast week thing, and maybe we don't really have day games until during the week until we get back to conference tournament time. Looks like there are some starting at 5 Eastern, but that's as early as we're getting it today. So Marshall firing off with, they are taking on Akron on the road. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Akron. Marshall and Akron actually ranked kind of similarly. It's just a few of the metrics I use as far as extra possessions are always good. Marshall doesn't really turn the ball over. They run a really fast pace. I don't know. Some places have Akron winning this game. I'm not 100% sure on that. Akron is like the worst free throw shooting team in the damn country. They're not a very good offense altogether. And I think this Marshall team gets up and down on them. I have this closer to 4. So the Thundering Herd, Eric Brown says Penn State -2.5. I'm throwing this in as a bonus. I'm throwing it in as a bonus pick. User pick. Eric Brown, Penn State. I didn't bet that. Here's an ugly one. I said I couldn't say anything about Akron, which is the team I bet against. I'm not sure I can say anything nice about Alabama State. This is a SWAC school. You don't really want to bet on SWAC schools. Their offensive efficiency is horrible. They run a fast offense, and they've had marginal success. They played tight with Iowa State. They weren't horrible against Iowa. They gave up a lot of points, but Iowa's a very, very good team. They've already lost to another SWAC school, so not a great start for them, but getting 19.5 here at Dayton, bit too much. I wonder how long I'll be betting these 20 point underdogs before I finally learned my lesson. I think my 20-point dog lost by 25 last night, but this is one I will be taking a stand on. Again, I'm trying to find something nice to say about Alabama State. I guess they force a decent amount of turnovers.
You don't
And
need to
they
be
haven't
too
really.
nice. They're getting almost 20 points.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like for a team like this, you can look at strength of schedules. A lot of these, like you go look at your favorite team in your Power 5 conference, their strength of schedule is going to be kind of weak for the most part. Obviously we had like the Zags played some tough teams, but some of these teams play a lot of shit teams to start with. When you're a SWAC school, when you're a MEAC school, it's the opposite. This team has played a shitload of good teams. Like they've had to play a bunch of top 50, top 75 teams already. So their strength of schedule is pretty tough. And yeah, I think they can keep this within 15. And I just, Dayton hasn't exactly been a covering machine. And then my third one is, I have to look at the screen, Ball State. This is you know what I like about when I have an underdog? I like an underdog who hits a lot of 3-pointers. Because when you are losing a game, you're shooting more threes. And if you're good at it, it works out. This was kind of the key to success for Niagara. If anyone remembers the Niagara Purple Eagles, they had some nice 3-point shooters. They were always losing, and they'd always claw their way back in by doing stuff like that. So extra possessions, good 3-point shooting without being reliant on the 3-pointer. I don't like teams who are, taking 55, 60% of their shots from deep. It just doesn't work out usually for some of these teams. They're just not good enough. It's not the NBA. You can't be doing stuff like that. So, yeah.
I will say, I was going to ask what
Illinois
happened to the Niagara Purple Eagles. Feels like we should just have a Niagara bet by now anyway. Are they not playing this year? Or
no, they
what's
covered. They were like an 11-point dog the other day. I think they won by like 20. So maybe I just need to bring you into the fold a little. I need to look at why I'm not loving them as much. And look at this. Griffin says Alabama State, they block a decent amount of shots.
That's
should
good.
Look at height. Maybe a height comparison. Yeah, Niagara won outright the other day. So if you want to bet Niagara, feel good.
I like it.
And Kyle, who I am reticent to ever put on the screen, Alabama State is one of the top SWAC schools in all of Alabama. There's like 4. So, and that might be an underplay too. SWAC plus Big Ten. There's some understeam in some of these as well. I don't know. I haven't got to my totals yet. You play totals though. What do you got for the big kids, the grown-ups, the pros?
Not too much tonight.
It's a big step from Alabama State to the 76ers.
It really is, and it's a funky day. A lot, a bunch of numbers kind of around, but we'll start with the Sixers game here. Sixers Celtics was actually able to grab under 210 earlier. If you follow me on BETSPERTS at Alex Christenson with no space, you got a little number there. But still, I'm seeing some 208s out there. If I look, it's starting to even fall down a little bit more. Maybe even some 206 is starting to pop up. I'm drawing the line at 207. I have this total right at 204. Again, I try to draw my edges right there around 3. So hopefully you can find a 207, maybe a 208 somewhere still, but nothing lower than 207. Sixers plus 4. This is around maybe some 3.5 to pop. I think anything 3.5 or better looks good for the Sixers tonight. Was a little concerned. This opened Celtics minus morning, and then in a few hours ballooned out to and started to come back the other way. Just kind of a Delhi Sixers fan. I always get out whenever there's line moves the other way. There's no reason to be taking the rest night off. Since I said that, I'm sure in a few minutes before the show there'll be some sort of it, and I'll let you know while I die on screen. Just looks like a really nice spot here for the Sixers. I have the Celtics basically a 1.5 point favorite at home. These two teams are pretty similar on a neutral court, again, especially with Joel Embiid back. There's probably even a little here. So like the Sixers again, plus 3.5 or better. The Minnesota Timberwolves plus 4. This number again looks to be out just about everywhere. I like this at plus 3 or better. The Washington Wizards, very solid team. They've had a great start to the season for us and some of our futures. But I start to look at their performance of the last couple of weeks, and I think this Timberwolves team is really going to be able to outplay them. Now that they have Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and everybody back and healthy. Anthony Edwards is questionable, but I'm kind of leaning towards him playing more than not. Either way, I have this pretty close to a pick 'em. Wizards, again, maybe -1. So anything 3 or better looks good to me there. Really like the spot for the Timberwolves. The Cavaliers +7. very surprised by this. This is down to 6. 6 is fine. I'd probably draw the line right about there. It's tough to figure out. The Heat have Jimmy Butler questionable, Bam Adebayo questionable. If either one of those guys miss, this is excellent for us. If both of them play, it's still about an edge in my opinion. So again, 6 are better here in the Cavaliers. Let's hope one of those out, and then a couple unders to finish out the Rockets Thunder. These two teams 2 days ago, they didn't score more than 2 points. This total has been bet up for. I actually played under 13 here, so congratulations, folks. You're going to do a little bit better. I like this again. 212 or higher under here looks really good to me. I might actually go back and sprinkle some alts or something here a little bit later, but just two teams that are happy to kind of just play a slow slogging pace. Again, the Rockets do play very fast, but a lot of their speed comes from kind of the other teams running on them. You generally don't see Oklahoma City doing that. So I think that the pace here is a little overestimated in the market. We're getting a nice number there. And then Clippers Kings, again, I think similar to what we saw with the Rockets, there's this adjustment that's been made in the market for Alvin Gentry. I haven't seen him in the court yet. The picked up, the offense hasn't really gotten better again like it seems the market is expecting them to. So played a couple Kings unders here now with him. Happy to do it again. Again, under 2. That number should be just about everywhere. I like this down to about 215. I have this 211. I tweaked to get this even under 210. So a couple unders and a couple underdogs for us tonight, Andy.
Yeah, I'm down, especially unders. And again, I don't check the scores on these either. I just bet what is told, and especially with your tennis, man. I never know what time that's going to happen. Like, I'm not going to watch tennis.
That's why the flash score alerts are so fun for tennis, because you just click them, and then all of a sudden during the day, your phone's buzzing at random times. Like, what the? Oh, look at that!
Yeah, flash score is kind of awesome as far
as have for the tennis better.
I forgot I bet that tennis match, and look, my player just won the first set. Nice. Like I said, not a ton else today. Obviously, we'll go over the whole NFL slate tonight on the deep dive. We'll get into college football later in the week, but I do have. I think it's teaser week again. It's either teaser week or it's not teaser week. Like there's either just a dearth of them, or we get the exact opposite. But there's a bunch of decent teaser legs. I'd like to, and Patrick says I like the green app with the whistle. That one's pretty good too. Scores and odds. I have so many different score apps. I use so many different ones for different sports. But digressing back to what I was just talking about.
What's this 10.5 doing here?
10.5 has turned into a decent teaser leg.
Enlighten me.
Going across the 10 and the 7 has turned into slightly plus EV in some instances. It's not a bad move. It's secondary. It's not as good as being across the 7 and the 3 with your 6-point teaser. But yeah, it is fire up the grill. Wong burgers for everybody. So Tampa Bay minus 10.5, a little bit of a secondary teaser leg there because you don't get to cross the 3, but it is a spot where you get across, you get across the 7 and 10 for a team that's should be greatly favored against what that defense has been doing. Arizona's in a good spot. If you want this, you might have to jump early. We're seeing reports that Kyler and DeAndre are practicing in full, and it might be full go Arizona this week. Minnesota, 7.5. I know they had some issues on the defensive line. They're starting to get a little healthier, and DeAndre Swift is banged up. So the Lions are looking very listless and without any sort of juice on the offensive side. That's a good one, even despite it is a road favorite. Indy, you can find it 9, which isn't a great 6-point teaser, but you can throw that into a 6.5. It is okay to play a 6.5 on like a -9 and a +1. If you can get it for -120, that is still a nice math move. Washington, who is streaking despite a lot of things, +2.5. You can get them right now. I think it's still 2.5 pretty much everywhere. Heading to the desert to play Vegas. And of course, why wouldn't you? Everybody's going to New England. Tease them up to 8.5. I don't care if it's in Buffalo. They play in the cold too. That's an easy one. So again, in the comments, in the chat, on Twitter, hit me with your favorite teasers. I think for sure mine is Arizona, New England.
I just did a 4-teamer. I went Arizona, Minnesota, New England, and Washington.
I like that one. So yeah, it is pleasers on New England, says Patrick. Pleasers.
Ooh. We love a pleaser.
We do. So, and that's, I mean, I stretched as good as I can. That might be it for today. We just don't have a ton of sports. I know
There's
Dan
not randomly
is.
Champion League soccer for us to bet live on air, is there?
No, I have been betting a lot of soccer though. I
Any
went
random
home
Turkish
a little
soccer plays you
earlier.
can give us from Pete?
I went home a little earlier, and I'm the one. So Pete will tag me sometimes. There's someone who tags me on Twitter and says, "This is a consensus play with Andy." It is not. He just does that. Like it's like he just tags me, and it's funny. But yesterday was Alex. If you saw that, we did take it live over in the Leeds. I was actually watching Leeds and Crystal Palace, and I said Leeds is going to score, and it took till stoppage time. Clear handball, nice penalty. Rafinha put it home, slotted it, 1-0 Leeds. Good win for them. So I'm betting a little soccer here and then, but it's not looking like a great day on the pitch, despite having. I guess we have 6 EPL matches. All right, we're extending the show by another 15 minutes. We're going to go through these one by one. Southampton will host Leicester today. I'm not really doing this. We're not going to go through all these.
We are not qualified for this. No, we could BS Champions League a little bit here, but I mean it's the Premier League, so I just kind of there's.
Yeah, if you want to be a chalk donkey, you parlay Man City and Liverpool's money lines. It's Villa, and I don't actually love that either. I feel like one of them draws. Yeah, don't bet soccer today. Take it.
What about Leicester 2-1 home money line here? Is Southampton any good? Is Leicester not good anymore?
See, it's in Southampton.
Oh, it's stupid. They always do it backwards. Never mind.
If you're looking at Flash Score, it's European style. It's home team listed first. So Champions League next week. As I was mentioning, bowl season starts soon. Dan is whipping something up for a bit of a contest for you guys. He just looked at me like he didn't know what I was talking about. It was literally your idea. Bowl season contests are always fun. We'll have something. We'll have some prizes for you guys. Basically, it'll be a very painless entry kind of thing. You won't need to sign up for anything. If you already have BETSPERTS, basically just make picks against the spread on the BETSPERTS app. Pick enough of them, you're automatically entered, and the best winning percentage against the spread in the bowl pick them. If you pick at least, I think, half the games, you go. And who won the PrizePicks NFL contest? PrizePicks is getting back to us. They have to run all the numbers, figure it out. They're going to let us know, I think, today. So we'll have some announcements on that. Somebody's winning tickets to the NFL. And yeah, MLS playoffs this weekend. Yeah. It's just a bad league. So with that, Alex, I'll let you go cod it up some more. I'm going to go figure out how the rest of my day goes and get ready for the NFL tonight. We have deep dive tonight. It is Wednesday. We'll see anyone who's joining me there later, and we'll catch you here tomorrow. Bup, bup, bup.